Now at 10, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Problems are only growing tonight for the people displaced from their homes at the Concord Hills Apartments in Hartford. Thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 10. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. An electrical fire back in August left dozens of people out of their homes and into temporary housing. But now they face another problem.
Fox 61's Kay Pattyfoot talked with those frustrated renters this evening about their latest obstacle.
Tenants in Hartford are demanding answers. From being displaced in August and being put into homes and temporary hotels, they may be stranded once again.
When I say tenant, y'all say power. Tenant? Power. Tenant? Power.
What happens after the 10th of December if we are not able to be in a proper apartment? Are we going to be kicked out in the cold and with our suitcases dragging behind us?
He promised that he would take care of the tenants. And that was one of the things that he promised me personally. And he has fallen short of it.
Burning questions from displaced Hartford renters that they say deserve answers. It's been 3 months since dozens were forced out of their homes because of an electrical fire in August at the Concord Hills Apartments.
Gray Hills.
Those renters and the tenants union claim the landlord, Gray Hill, simply doesn't care.
They have been failing to do the repairs in the building that need to be done in order for people to go back home and move back in. Meanwhile, tenants came home on this weekend to their hotel rooms, their temporary housing accommodations, with notices from the city that they have to be out by a hard deadline of December 8th.
Hartford Mayor Arunan Arulampalam said he has worked tirelessly on the issue and even helped identify new apartments for the tenants.
It was never our intention to keep people in temporary hotel housing indefinitely. We always wanted to move people into permanent housing, and there's a number of options that are at the same price point that the Sherbrooke apartments were at all over our city.
But people say those apartments aren't up to code and they aren't in safe neighborhoods.
In the worst neighborhoods, it's unsafe for kids, women, and even disabled people to live in because you can't be living in a crime-infested neighborhood. Not even the police want to patrol, so that tells you a lot about the neighborhood that he's trying to get us to go to.
They claim the mayor isn't doing enough, but the mayor says the opposite.
We're going after the Gray Hill Group. They clearly have been dragging their feet. We have found out that they have been receiving insurance payments. They should have been making the payments. They should have been making the repairs on this property. And we're not going to release our lien on the property.
Tenants are now calling on Governor Lamont to intervene on the matter because they feel as though the mayor isn't doing enough on this issue. In Hartford, Kay Pattyfoot, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
All right, Kay, thank you. Turning to the weather now, and these nights are turning chilly as we get deeper into fall, and tonight might be the coldest one of the season so far.
Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank for a first look at the temperatures out there. Hi, Rachel.
Hi, and it's funny because this is certainly not at all unusual for this time of year. However, we are not accustomed to temperatures like this, not only so far this season, but also compared to recent well above normal temperatures. Check it out. We're looking at 25 by daybreak tomorrow in Hartford, and some of our cooler locations could drop back into the upper teens as we head towards daybreak tomorrow. New Milford, Torrington at 19 degrees apiece, middle 20s for Norwich, and upper 20s in the New Haven area by tomorrow morning. But we only have one more chilly day before temperatures begin to rebound starting on Friday, and then it's downright warm heading into this weekend. Right now, temperatures are in the 20s and 30s, so we're seeing those numbers falling fast. After a cold start to the day tomorrow, temperatures rebound nicely as we head through the afternoon. We're in the upper 40s for Naugatuck, close to 50 for Hamden as we head through the afternoon. High temperatures in the upper 40s to near 50 degrees for Killingly and Pomfret, and we're also looking at a high near 50 degrees in Durham as we head through tomorrow afternoon. Again, this is the last cooler day before those temperatures begin to rebound. We'll talk about it. Plus, we are looking ahead to any chance of rain in the extended forecast coming up.
All right, Rachel, thank you. Well, the holiday season is right around the corner, and a good Christmas movie is one of the best ways to ring in the holiday spirit.
And many of those Christmas movies you can find on Hallmark or Netflix were filmed right here in Connecticut.
And today, state leaders unveiled the new Christmas movie trail, showing the more than 20 iconic filming locations all across our state. Fox 61's Kayla Cade takes us to Wethersfield.
The holiday season is approaching fast, and Connecticut has been home to holiday cheer and movies all about Christmas. So in Wethersfield, at the site of one of those Christmas films, the state unveiled what's being touted as the Christmas movie trail, the first of its kind in all of the country.
I think it's really neat that they incorporated some local folks like us to show up, and a grandma, and to just share it with people that really have lived in Connecticut.
It was a magical day for Joanne Palumbo, Beth Burke, and her mom, who spent their day at the house where the Hallmark movie Christmas on Honeysuckle Lane was filmed in Wethersfield.
And it's like totally a lot of fun, and I love it because I love Christmas, and so do you.
My mom finds happiness and joy in watching this, and she lost her husband a few years ago, and she doesn't want to watch anything other than Hallmark to keep her happy in her last chapter.
They won a contest to be one of the first people to see the launch of Connecticut's Christmas movie trail.
I think it's awesome because you could stop at the different places that they actually filmed, like either a restaurant or the town, and just check it all out.
It was an early holiday treat, complete with caroling, pictures with 3 Hallmark Christmas movie actors.
I was happy to experience this because I got pictures with my mom with these super hot guys, and that's going to be her Christmas card.
And the first look at the map of the movie trail, which features 22 different locations in Connecticut for residents and visitors to go to.
And one of the locations for me to visit would be down by where I live on the shore, would one of the first places, but I love to travel across the state of Connecticut.
Film director Andrew Garnard has shot several holiday movies in Connecticut and says he will continue to do so.
Yeah, I just want to bring more and more here to bring work, to bring notoriety.
These movies have created 2,000 jobs across various sectors as well.
Many film production companies come to shoot in Connecticut because of the tax incentives the state offers. However, there is a proposed bill that could eliminate the film production tax credit. Some state leaders, including Governor Lamont, hope to keep things as is and strike down that bill.
It's essential, in fact, if you do not have the ability to deliver a tax incentive in your budget, it's highly unlikely that your film will get produced, and that would affect our competitiveness if we were not able to offer tax incentives. This industry is an important industry, one that we are happy to have, one that we are encouraging, one that we are building, and one that we hope that you will continue to patronize in movie theaters as well as on your television screen.
You can start the Christmas movie trail now. There's a map with 22 filming locations throughout Connecticut that you can check out on our website, fox61.com. In Wethersfield, Kayla Cade, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Kayla, thank you. The superintendent of Cheshire Public Schools confirms the teacher at the center of a viral video has resigned from her job effective immediately. The video went viral on social media that appeared to show Annie Dunleavy making threatening remarks. That video was apparently originally posted to a private Snapchat group, but was recorded and re-uploaded online. In the letter from the superintendent, he called the remarks hurtful and deeply concerning and acknowledged they do not reflect the position of the school system.
A Stamford man will spend the next 55 years behind bars for a murder in Norwalk. 27-year-old Jermaine Scott's been sentenced for the 2017 murder of Johnny Lazo. A Stamford jury found him guilty of murder. According to trial testimony, Scott shot at a group of men he believed were related to a man who had previously insulted and threatened his then-girlfriend. Lazo was the only one shot, and he died at the hospital.
A Stamford man has been sentenced to 12 years in prison for sexually assaulting a patient at Norwalk Hospital. According to court records, 48-year-old Rodney Daniels sexually assaulted a female patient under heavy sedation while he was also a patient there in 2020. Daniels pleaded guilty to 2 counts of sexual assault. He will also spend 8 years on parole.
8 months after Michelle Troconis was found guilty of conspiracy to commit murder. She's back in the courtroom, and this time for a hearing on a charge she picked up during her trial.
The contempt of court charge has been in limbo for months as the attorneys have been working toward a resolution. Fox 61's Julia LeBlanc has the details.
After months of court dates and closed-door conversations between the attorneys, they haven't been able to reach a resolution on this contempt charge. So right now, Michelle Troconis is once again going to trial.
I'm surprised that it's still being pursued, but I understand that we need to deal with the charge.
Michelle Troconis and her attorney, Robert Frost, once again in a Stamford courtroom, facing a contempt charge she picked up during her recent trial, where she was found guilty of conspiracy to commit murder in connection to the death of Jennifer Farber-Dulos.
Attorney Frost, why don't you begin?
The contempt charge stems from this trial moment where prosecutors say Troconis intentionally displayed sealed court documents on her computer for the public to see. Those documents involve the contentious divorce between Jennifer and her estranged husband, Fotis Dulos.
Each time it was reiterated by Judge Randolph on the record during trial that this report was to be remained sealed because it was discussed quite a bit during that lengthy trial.
The state says that document was blown up in large font, but Frost argues it's not easily legible from a distance. And though the trial was being live streamed by a TV news videographer, he says his client's laptop wasn't supposed to be shown.
And because they happened to do something they weren't supposed to do, and somebody who is aligned with the victim's family was upset about it, it then got elevated to a contempt allegation.
The judge is allowing Frost to subpoena that photographer to testify in court. Meanwhile, Frost is asking for clarification on the charge itself.
Analogizing it to a drug case, is this just mere possession, or do we have an intent to distribute theory of the offense?
The state says it's both.
I did do my best to clarify that the state would be proceeding under both theories of possession and publicizing the sealed document.
Troconis' family speaking with reporters outside of court.
My sister is innocent. The case remains unsolved, and the truth of what happened to Jennifer is still a mystery.
Now, the trial date is set for March 11th, but the attorneys will meet again in January, where Frost hopes jury selection will be waived so that this case can go to a bench trial. We are in Stamford. Julia LeBlanc, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.